Today's vlog will be a little bit different. We'll talk about 3 things I learned this week, or maybe like 2, or maybe 3. I'm still writing, I don't know. But this week I really gave it to myself because I think I'm struggling a little bit with my mental health, and I don't really talk about it that often with my friends, etc. But I'm going to do that. I'm still writing. So meanwhile, you can watch this video because I went out with my mother and I made her do this. Mama, do you like my vlogs? Hello. I think since I have started uploading videos, one thing I talk more often about is my sleeping schedule, which is kind of like all over the place. And it's just not in the best shape, and I really tried to work on it this week, and today is Sunday, so your girl really tried. On Monday, I was just, doing some journaling, went back like a little bit, and I read that I really talk a lot about my sleeping schedule. Like, I really want this to be fixed because I am not a person who would stay up all night and then, still survive in the morning. I would rather just, sleep on a regular schedule, and for me it's like 10 p.m, 10:30 maximum. And then so for that I have to sleep early to function properly in the morning, and I'm not doing that, and it's kind of not just hurting my mind, my soul, it is just hurting how I behave as a human being. So I made this conscious effort to try to sleep early, but since I have not been sleeping early since last couple of days, I had to do some technique or something to trick my mind into, it's time to sleep, let's get back to schedule, whatever. What I did was, and it did work for me, and maybe it might work for you, or maybe not, I don't know. Every time I was about to go back to bed, I would just start talking to myself, say like, okay, it's time for me to sleep. I'm going to do my skincare and then I'm going to go to bed. I start saying out things out loud. So, my mind is getting tricked, like, okay, it's time for her to sleep. Let's just calm her down. I don't know. And then I started telling people, if I was talking to someone, I would just tell them like, okay, so, I'm going to sleep in a little bit. So kind of like training my mind. And also I set like a sleeping thing on my phone saying like, okay, I will not receive any notifications, time for me to go to bed, yada yada yada, whatever. I did that, and then while I was doing that, I realized it was a little bit hard for me for like a day or two, because I always have this feeling of missing out, because if I'm talking to someone and there's a time difference, whatever, I just don't want to feel FOMO, because when I come back home, the only thing I did was just go to work and then come back home. But then I know it's just for a little bit that my working hours are crazy, but then after it will be fine. That does not mean I change my sleeping schedule and whatever. Anyways, that happened. It was a little bit difficult, but what I learned from this is I would always mix self-care and self-discipline, but in reality they're just 2 different things. Because for me, self-care would be, I would up at night, talk to my loved ones, watch funny TikToks for however long I want because it's just funny, and then maybe nibble on a cookie or something. But I realized that it just doesn't go with me, so I have to impose self-discipline over self-love. I think I'm not making sense, but just hear me out. As a person who would want to have self-discipline, I would sleep early, go to bed, and also I feel like people you like, you care, they would just understand that's who you are as a person. You would just want to go to bed earlier, and then it will just work. I said self-love and self-discipline are 2 different things. you to constantly push yourself, like as if you have to fill in every hour of your day. Like you have to fill 24 hours in your day. But why do we have to do that? Because the more I end up doing it, like being great at work, or I don't know, be social or give time to myself and and trying to do every other activity in my routine, it just feels like I'm chasing something and I'm just running after something, or I'm just ticking boxes. It just doesn't feel comfortable. And does that mean that I have to be productive at every single stage of my life? But does that also mean being so productive is just uncomfortable? It just creates a feeling of this uncomfortableness by yourself. Is it a distraction? Is productivity a distraction for self-acceptance? And it just made me think maybe it's true, because every time I would have any free bracket of the day, I would try to do something and my brain would just never switch off for a second. Is it the world telling me that, oh, you have to survive, you have to always up your game in every single thing, you cannot be average, you cannot be bad, you have to be good at everything you do, because practice makes perfect? But it's not about surviving, it's about living. So much wisdom from me. I'm confused, I'm shocked, she is really thrilled. But that's true, because that's exactly how I feel. Because sometimes you just feel that you are doing so many things and then you still end up feeling empty. But if you have so much stuff to do, why would you feel empty? It's just because you are surviving and cooping up with all the scheduled things which you are supposed to do, kind of sometimes obliged to do. But it's not that you're having fun. It's time for bed. I hope you enjoyed the video. Oh my god, my camera's about to fall. Anyways, always chaotic energy. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a great time filming it and sharing my experience of what I did this week, or what I learned this week. To be honest, I'm really proud of myself. Good job, Jav. Jav, baby, you are amazing. So yeah, see you next week with something, I don't know. Never planned. No idea what's gonna happen. This was literally... Anyways. Bonne nuit. And maybe it's not even bonne nuit for some people, but like, you know what I mean, because I'm going to bed, so it's bonne nuit. Bonne nuit. Bisous.